What is going on, my bomb squad? This is Don the Bomb returning for another action figure review. I'm sure you guys have all been waiting for the next one. And then after this one is over, you will be waiting anxiously for the next one after that. I know it. Don't lie. I see it in the comments. I see it in the likes. I know what you guys want. This is going to be a very interesting action figure review because today I will be reviewing the Hasbro starting lineup Giannis Antetokounmpo figure. So, I don't know how many of you guys remember, but back in the late 80s and out throughout the 90s, I believe Kenner made the original starting lineup figures. They did, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, hockey. I think they did a lot of different things. And they were pretty cool for what they were. I think they were around maybe 4 inches tall. There wasn't really much articulation. Maybe you could move their arms and turn their heads. And they all were fixated to a base, so you couldn't really free them from the base unless you used an axe or something like that. But so I saw about a year ago, Hasbro, I think they may have even had the license later in the original run, maybe in the late 90s, early 2000s. I can't remember exactly. But they were cool, but, for what they were back in the day. But this, I think they're trying to take to a different level. As you can see, the box art here. And I think their first series that came out about a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, had, I believe, maybe 6 to 8 different basketball players from the NBA, Giannis, LeBron, Luka, maybe, I can't quite remember. Unfortunately, it had some initial buzz, but the sales must not have been there because they have yet to announce a Series 2 or any type of follow-up at all. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like the sales were there. And essentially, this is going to be a one-and-done series, it looks like. And also, too, when they first came out, these were $29.99. And by luck, I wouldn't have bought this otherwise. I found this at TJ Maxx for a whopping $10. And it actually went to $12.99 and dropped to $10. So I'm like, well, might as well add this to my collection. I don't know exactly where to display this or whatever, but I brought some figures from other lines to get, like a size comparison. I believe this is like a 6-7 inch scale. Well, actually on the back, it does show 7-inch scale. So that kind of fits in more with, your McFarlane figures, wrestling, stuff like that. So, I thought it would be pretty cool to get. I was hoping to find LeBron, but they had about, like 20 Giannis figures. So I didn't really have much of a choice, but I wanted to look at it. I wasn't going to spend $29.99 for them, but I will spend $10 for one. So, the box is pretty simplistic here. It just shows the different things. It looks like it has interchangeable hands. It has a little jibber jabber about Giannis, but this is what I like to see, the $10. Let's see, they have all that. So, nothing really great. Now, being a Cleveland Cavaliers fan from Northeast Ohio, I was hoping they would have at least some Cleveland Cavalier represented in Series 1, and they didn't. Series 2, maybe Donovan Mitchell would have been a perfect candidate, but it doesn't appear we're going to get that. So it's kind of disappointing, but we'll see what this is all about. I know I've already probably talked more than you guys would like me to. Let me see if I can get this box open. I sure did. Giannis is here in this little packet. And some other thing here. All right. Well, there's all kinds of stuff in here. All right, so what do we have? So we have here a flight stand. Giannis, man, he does take flight. I watched him last night lose to my Cleveland Cavaliers. They've lost 2 of the last 3 games to the Cavs. And the flight stand should go right into this. All right, yeah, see? It's right into this cool stand starting lineup. It is a shame that it's going to end after one series. I think maybe if they would have maybe dabbled with some legends, maybe did a Kobe, a Shaq, Larry Bird, like they did back in the you know, the guys from the late 80s when they first started. That would have been cool. Maybe they can even revive the line by doing something like that. And I don't know what's in this compartment here. I guess we'll find out. Oh, look at this. A very nice Giannis Antetokounmpo card. Has a nice little silver foil on black. Pretty cool. Has his stats from his overall stats, but that's pretty cool. Little inclusion there. And let's see what's in this little bag here. I don't really want this review going too long because people are already probably not going to watch it because it's a starting lineup. Well, this is a nice little thing to add to the flight stand. I don't know if I'm going to put it all together during this review, but he does have some interchangeable hands. Oh, he has the number 1. Well, I don't know if they'll show that. The Bucks do have a good team with the addition of Dame Lillard in the offseason. There's a palm hand and kind of like a Danhausen from AEW curse hand. Whatever. And then we have a hand with the basketball attached for those nice shots of him going for the dunk. And he is one of the best interior finishers in the game. You can't deny that. That guy, man, when he's going up ahead of steam, you're going to get out of his way. I would have already been in the stands by that point in time if he was coming towards me. So the main event right here is Giannis himself. And all this other stuff out of the way. Oh my goodness, he's looking the other way. Yeah, these are, I mean, to be expected. All these, 25 years later. Actually, geez, almost 40 years later. Where did the time go? I think this line started in maybe 87, 88, that time frame. But yeah, this is definitely a major improvement as you would expect over the initial run. But once again, I mean, obviously it's not gravitating to the consumer out there because I don't know. I mean, you play with your wrestling figures, you play with G.I. Joes and He-Man and your superheroes, but I mean, what are you going to do with him? I mean, you could always make him a jobber in your wrestling fig fed, which, hey, the shoe fits, wear it. So, I mean, you can see with the articulation, he's single jointed arms, but I mean, they're aesthetically cool looking. There's no pinless. It's pinless. You can't see those annoying pins. I mean, that face sculpt, it's hard to tell with the focus there, but yeah, it definitely looks like Giannis. I mean, that's exactly what you would want. Then you see his, forest green, hunter green uniform, Milwaukee Bucks uniform. It's pretty cool with the Nike swoosh. And you have your single jointed legs. He does the kind of high Giannis karate kick. If you guys remember a few years ago, him and the Lopez brothers would always get in wrestling matches backstage before and after the games. It was always cool to see the highlights, but he can do some pretty good kicks. You have, looks like ankle cut right above the sock, and you have your single jointed knees, and, they're pretty tight. They're not too tight, which is good. You don't want a loose, I'd rather have a tight jointed figure than a loose jointed figure. I think for what it is, it's cool, and if I can get the other, 6 to 8 or whatever ones are in Series 1, I think I'm going to do that if I can find them, of course, for like $10. I'm definitely not going to be paying much more than that. But not that they're not worth it. They're kind of cool. And let's see some size comparisons. Let me kind of take the camera and bring it down low to surface level. First, let's see. We'll bring in a G.I. Joe guy. What is it, the Shadow Tracker? I think they're at a 6-inch scale, so, Giannis is definitely a little taller than he is. But he's also like a 6'11" basketball player, so he's going to be tall anyways. So let me kind of straighten out his arms here. Let's see, we'll bring in a Mattel WWE Brock Lesnar. Oh, man, Brock would put a hurt into this guy. Yeah, they're about the same height, so there's about a 7-inch scale. We'll bring in a Marvel Legends, I believe MCU Ravager Thor figure. He's a little taller for a Marvel Legend, but he's a little shorter than Giannis, which, you know, is kind of real life scale. So it is scale pretty good. Here's a DC Multiverse Godspeed, which I believe these are 7-inch scale. They're a little taller than the Marvel Legends, and, you know, Giannis is about the same height. I don't know if you really can tell from this perspective. And last but not least, we have a Jazzwares AEW. It's supposed to be Hangman Adam Page figure, but I have turned him into a rhinestone cowboy Freddie Mercury figure. And if anyone that doesn't know Freddie Mercury, he was a lead singer of Queen, very unique and eccentric individual. I had to have him in my wrestling collection to get beat up on if it ever happens, but Jazzwares is a 7-inch scale, and Giannis is a little taller than him, so I think it's pretty cool. So, given for what it is, it's a pretty cool figure. You know, if I give it a rating, I guess I would kind of rate it like an 8 out of 10 because it's actually a really cool figure. It's, you know, seems to have his body frame, his face scan, everything you need if you want is right here. And then I think I'll pose him on the flight stand with the basketball hand. So, man, so that was your review for the Giannis Antetokounmpo Hasbro starting lineup figure from Series 1. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's going to be any more series. I hope there are. Also remember, please, if you like this video, like, subscribe, comment if you choose, share if you can, and enable notifications on your cellular device. It seems like a lot of my subscribers haven't been getting my videos on their feeds, on their YouTube feed, and I don't understand why. But if you want to, please enable notifications so you can see my videos when they come up, and ring that bell, whatever that means. All that glitter isn't gold. Don the bomb. Until the next one, have a good day.